meet or whatever. So the question now becomes, on that second phone call, what in your mind, how would that second phone call go? Is it just simply like something, do you set that up beforehand? Do you try and set that up before that second call, or do you just go with it? And then what value are you going to show during that second call to initiate a third call or down the line? Did I provide enough information?
So was there an appointment or a needs analysis had yet, or was just a first lead call and then it's a follow-up call to get the next appointment or a better appointment?
Correct. So the first phone call is, hey, I want to see 123 Main Street. Well, we know 123 Main Street is pending. Old call used to be, hey, Matt, that house is pending. Are there any other properties that you want to see? And you answer no. They always answer no. And then you say, well, so tell me a little bit about your search. And then it always goes down to, I'm going to set you up on a search. And if you see any of those properties that you like, let me know and we'll go take a look at them, or, I'll keep an eye out too. And that call goes nowhere 9 out of 10 times because they're already on one of those searches more than likely.
Okay. So real quick, just a couple of thoughts, Ken. Let's just role play that a little bit. I've got just a couple ideas of, and you may be doing this, but just some thoughts around that. So, hey, Ken, it's Matt over here. I see that you had reached out about this property. While I'm pulling up that information on that specific property, what was it about that property that attracted you? Was it neighborhood, schools? Tell me more.
Yeah, we like the area, like the price point, and the yard was fenced.
So the yard was fenced, area and price point. What specifically about the area? Was it about your commute? Was it about anything else? Did you need to be within a certain?
We just really like that subdivision. We've got some friends that live in that subdivision.
Awesome. Okay. And have you looked at any other subdivisions nearby, or you're pretty locked in on that one?
Yeah, I mean, we like the whole area, but more specifically, we do like that subdivision.
Okay, perfect.
We would be open to other areas though.
Have you seen any other homes in that subdivision, or is this the first time you're calling on one of the homes?
We've seen other ones for sale, but this is the first time that I'm calling on to look at one.
Okay, awesome. All right. So, break the role play. Like at this point, I may ask a couple other questions to kind of pattern interrupt to get into some rapport, but I feel like the longer we go without having that conversation about exactly what's about that property. Do
you want me to tell you our process?
Yeah, sure. So,
okay. So somebody hits our website or whatever and wants to view a property. We reach out to them, or they've reached out to us, and we introduce ourselves as the area expert, and, we can help them, and we see that they want to see, a property. And then they say, yes, I mean, that's the point of this call. And then we ask them what they liked about the property, which is just what you said. And then we ask them if there's any other properties in the area that they would want to see. The answer to that question 9 out of 10 times is always no. And then we ask them if we were to identify some other properties in the area that fit this criteria, would they be interested in seeing those? And most always they say yes. And then we say, we're going to confirm with the appointment, and we're going to get back with you within about 10 or 15 minutes. However, we know that the property is pending when we get the call on it, because we pull it up real quick, or we don't, or we see that it is, we've recognized that the property is pending. So we try not to go too much into detail about the property on the phone call. We try and save that for the meeting. However, that house is pending, so we know that. So we know we can't go see that property. And so then I'm like, hey, Matt, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and text message you all my information so you know who it is when I call you back. I'll get that confirmed with the homeowner, and I'll give you a call back with 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever my timeline allows. So then I'm frantically trying to come up with another property. So then my idea would be to call you back and say, hey, Matt, unfortunately, that property that you called on does already have a contract and they're not allowing other showings. However, I did find another property in that neighborhood at whatever Elm Street. And I think that would be a great fit. The problem is there's not necessarily one on Elm Street available to go look at right now. So my fear is they're making that call back and saying, hey, Matt, I'm just falling right back into the original problem, which is now it's like, hey, Matt, I just wanted to call and touch base with you. 123 Main Street is pending and the seller's not allowing any more showings. Do you have any other properties that you wanted to look at? And you're like, nope, that was it. Sometimes when you wait that extra 20-30 minutes, they have identified another property. So that is good. And that's maybe about 50% of the time. However, the problem that I'm worried about is they're just calling that person back saying that property's pending. And then it just goes back into the cycle of, let me get a search. So that's kind of the angle. So what would that be back? Now you're going to go into a needs analysis.
Well, that's the question that I would
get them into the office.
That's what I'd like to do, like either a longer Zoom or an in-office appointment. And remember that like there's always the ABCs of setting the appointment. So the action and then the benefit and then the commitment. So the action is, hey, Ken, I know that one's pending. I'd love to get together really quickly to find a little bit more about what it was about that property and potentially others. And then so the benefit is because we're coming across properties that are either not for sale yet or private office exclusive, or sometimes they'll come across expireds, or a neighbor will show up and say, yeah, we've been thinking about selling and we got a couple of things to do. And I'd like to learn a little bit more about the perfect property for you, that if something like that were to come up, I could get it to you. So would today at 5 o'clock or 5:15 be better, right? So I definitely want to do a better needs analysis and then find out, because you may get a for sale by owner or an expired that's kind of close to their, maybe it's like a 3 out of 5 out of their criteria. And even if you put it in front of them, they're going to think really highly of that, even though it may not be perfect.
And then how do you, when they say no, like, how do you mentally keep going with that? No, that's okay. I'll just keep an eye out. And if I see something, I'll let you know.
Yeah, maybe just reframe it one last time. Like, hey, Ken, I totally get that. Is it, and
do you feel market stats at this point is a good idea or bad? Like one, not really market stats, but like one that kind of Beth is working on us with is knowing days on the market.
Yeah, I'd probably push against the speed of notification, right? And say, Ken, I know that you're going to reach out to me when you find something, but if we can get together and you can tell me a little bit more about what it is you're looking for. We often see stuff immediately or before you can, and I'd like to actually reach out to you before it's not available again. I mean, I'd hate for you to reach out again and then we missed it by 12 hours because I didn't get a chance to really find out what it was that you were looking for specifically. So would it be worth investing 15 minutes of your time to not miss out on the next one because we were 12 hours late? Possibly.
Ken, I feel like one of the things that I would try to do with internet leads, whenever they came in, you guys know that they're pending, right? Immediately. I'm on the phone with you on the first phone call. I know it's pending.
Yeah.
I'm probably.
And I've listened to some of the calls. Some of the agents just, they have processed that pending out of their mind, which I absolutely love. And then other agents kind of, they know it's pending and they're just like I mean, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's pending. I've got to go on. Like, I can't unsee the fact that it's pending, and you can kind of hear it in their voice. And other ones just skip right over it because that's kind of the angle that we've went at, is get through that, let them know that you're going to schedule the appointment, and then circle back to the fact that it's pending with another property that you're going to show them.
So like in my head, whenever I'm talking to internet leads or unvets, the likelihood that they're buying this first house they called on is like slim to none. But I think for us on the flip side of it, it's really easy to go, that's the only value. No, I'm still the value. So I would really hope that my goal is, if you call, I want to see the house at 3, perfect, great, I'm going to get it set up. We're looking at the house at 3. My first option is I'm going to call and sweet talk the agent. Can I get in to at least see it? We'll make you a great backup offer. And because I still want to meet this person, the value is not the house, the value is me at the house. So if I can't meet them and they're like, nope, we're solid, we're not showing the house anymore, tough luck, Chuck. Then there might be a call from me back to that person later in the day. And I don't want to screw it up or seem like it's false advertising that we can see the house when we can't see the house. But if I can't find another house in a similar location, similar size and price per square foot, they may be getting a call from me more like 30 minutes before the appointment. And it would go something like, hey, Ken, they've got an offer and a backup offer on that. You guys obviously have amazing taste. Since we're already on our way, let's just meet at this coffee shop right over here. And I actually have a list of 40 houses that our agents in the office have for sale that aren't on the MLS. I'd like to browse through those with you. And we're going to have a buyer consultation with a private office exclusive consultation at that exact same time, because they've already booked it. But I mean, in my head, if I'm still providing value, that's the goal of the appointment. I don't know how that feels for your team organization, but I'm still trying to meet them.
I like that.
Like that.
Yeah, tough luck, Chuck. That was funny. Any other thoughts? Anyone else have something that works for them to get to the appointment, even if it's pending?
You know what, the other thing, Ken, don't forget to make sure your agents aren't forgetting to check the contingent offer, the contingent houses in that price point, because you can still go see those contingent ones. I'm pre-MLS, contingent, and obviously anything active. I'm calling to see if I can get in and show them.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Those backups, we're encouraging that, the backup. I love the fact that everyone just heard that the value is not the house. The value is us as agents. We, they typically don't buy that first house. A lot of times, we forget all that. And that's why we have to meet with them. That's why we have to get in front of them. And Matt, what's the statistic of once you meet with them, how likely are they to use you?
I mean, NAR says that 87% of the people never interview more than one person. So it's almost 9 out of 10. Like 9 times out of 10, if they meet with you, you're it, unless your mouth makes it not. Or your lack of preparation makes it a no.
Right.
But you're on this call, so if you're on this call, you're already ahead of the game.
Right. So the thought process that I have is you've got to quit. You've got to have them stop looking online at multiple properties with calling different agents. You've got to get them to choose you, so they're no longer searching for other houses, just blindly picking up agents. And the only way to do that is to meet them in person, usually, or via Zoom or something like that. But in person, the whole lot trying to win the lottery of, I'll set you up on an MLS search, and when the right house comes up, let me know, is not good.
That's the very least that everyone's doing, right? That's the bare minimum, right? And so just the 2 or 3 things that Rebecca mentioned, like if you can bring even one thing that they've never heard of or discovered that they don't have access to that you're providing, that's already better than almost anyone else they've ever spoken to. So whether that's a private office exclusive list, whether that's expireds, for sale by owners, neighborhood prospecting, like if you've got a strategy or a tactic that's just beyond, well, we're going to put you on this search and then let me know and I'm in. I'm super available anytime you are. I'm ready to jump. Like that's not value. If you've got these other things available, that's the true value.
Can I say something here?
Yeah, David.
So at one point in time, actually, Rebecca, I was talking to you about it, and it's kind of similar on this get leads, and they seem like they're not valuable leads. They kind of seem to die off. And my thought is, if I can get people to meet me, if they can see me, because on the phone, you're getting one sense, you're getting hearing. It's like, so if I can get them to see me, hear me, So I actually started, I had a few that were not responding to me. And it's kind of from one of those things I would do, like you said, Rebecca, shoot a video of myself. Hey, Quentin, I saw you were interested in this. Zillow sends me these. I'm your guy. You know, they pair you up with an agent. I'm an agent in the local area. Say their name. So it's not just this blanket thing you're doing for everybody. You say their name. This is the address. Love to get you in there. So then they get to see what you look like. They get to see you talk. They get to kind of hear some of that. And they say, from human being to human being, I don't like being bombarded. So when you hit that button on Realtor Zillow, that goes to a lot of other agents. You're probably getting texts, I'm sending you this video kind of thing. And then I've had people literally text me right back, hey, how you doing? Or, hey, yeah, actually, I've got like 20 phone calls. Goodness, like this is ridiculous. And so that actually has worked for me.
I love that, David. One of the scripts that I really liked, I did a brief stint rocking some Zillow leads, and I would always say, so David, what's super exciting, this is like on our first phone call, David, what's super exciting is that Zillow thinks that we're going to be best friends based on the houses that you're looking at and the houses that I'm an expert in selling. They think we should get together. So let's just do it. Let's meet at the house. Let's meet for coffee, whatever it is. I'm tying the fact that it's their algorithm and my expert in selling, and now we're best friends.
That was awesome. And here, remember this and write this down. A lead will remain a lead because you haven't outscripted them yet. A for sale by owner stays a for sale by owner because they haven't met an agent to outscript them yet. And then this reminds me of the movie Glengarry Glen Ross. How many of you are familiar with Glengarry Glen Ross? There's that famous scene with Baldwin that says, "Put the coffee down." And at the very beginning of time, anytime anything is about sales, salespeople will always complain about the leads. And I'm gonna put this out there, and I may hurt somebody's feelings. And if your feelings are hurt, I apologize in advance. Leads don't suck, you do. So we're on this call to get better, right? The leads aren't bad. We just haven't leveled up yet. I say that with love in my heart. If you're mad about the leads, get mad about your skills.
That's funny.
Can I take something into this conversation?
Please.
So on to after what Rebecca was saying, as far as like, you know, tying it together. Yes, I need, you know, you need me, I need you kind of situation. Also, what I try to do, if it's like just a phone call, I just squeeze myself into it also, where like they realize I'm a person. I'm not like going door to door offering the same exact thing. I care about what I'm doing, and I'm a person that you're going to like working with because you trust me to do so.
Yeah, I really like the future pacing in that. It's good. 2 minutes to go. Other thoughts, ahas, takeaway from this call, other than Matt's a jerk.
All good. Very helpful.
Right on. That's it. No other notes, takeaways, ahas? All right, kids.
I'm good, thank you.
Now you got a bunch of ammo to go attack all those leads that you haven't called in a while.
Matt.
Go. Yeah, Lisa.
So the takeaways, as always, is any reason for a call is to get the appointment.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest takeaway is get the appointment. If it's pending, but get the appointment. Don't stop until you get it.
Right on. That's pro talk. All right, y'all. Have an amazing week. We'll see you Thursday.
Thanks.
Bye.